was about 6 months pregnant. We'd had a level 2 ultrasound, more detailed ultrasound, because there had been some markers on the early screenings, and so we had an amniocentesis done, and we found out, well, Maya was still in my belly. I think our initial reaction was just feeling overwhelmed and shocked and just sort of like surprised. Like, how could this be happening? It totally changes our life plans. You know, we're thinking our assumptions about what a child would be and what she would be doing and would she look like us, and it made us kind of question those things, I think, initially. And
we actually set up a special needs trust before she was born, and we were already planning on taking out term life insurance, but we set up those policies. So we had our wills and trust and all of our estate planning done before she was born.
The two most common mistakes are, one is lack of planning. And the part of the reason is, and I can say this, I'm a special needs parent myself, is that having a special needs child is overwhelming. There's overwhelming demands on the family, and oftentimes this future planning is something they don't get to. From a planning perspective, they had a special needs trust, but the special needs trust did not come into being until they passed away. It was part of their wills, which in some cases is okay, but I advised against it because that doesn't allow for other family members to make bequests to that trust.
Another way of thinking about our financial planning that he shared with us is that you're really saving for retirement for 3 people. And I think that's an important way to look at things. And he said, essentially, you need to be building your wealth so that when you're no longer around, there's enough for Maya to be taken care of.
The unique situation that parents with special needs have is that they need to save money, and they need to save it in such a way that they protect government benefits for a special needs child. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to set up a tool that can protect money, and that's typically a special needs trust. The asset allocation can be, some clients look at that long range and look at that 20 and 30-year situation, such as Jason and Amanda, and they go 100% aggressive in managed stock funds because over long periods of time, they typically have outperformed as long as you have a long period of time. Many clients, though, are uncomfortable with that type of volatility and risk, and therefore will move back their allocations to a 80% stock and a 20% bond allocation.
I wouldn't want us in a huge position in bonds, but I definitely appreciated him providing us with an asset allocation target and telling us how the best way to rebalance is to change your new contributions rather than trying to buy and sell things. I think the prospect of trying to save for 3 people for retirement is kind of daunting. And knowing, it's hard to know what she'll need, so it's hard to plan for what she'll need.
yeah.
And we don't know. We want her to be able to be as independent as she can possibly be, but we've got to make sure that she doesn't have assets of more than $1,000 or she won't be eligible for various benefits. So,
how big is baby Elmo?
You know, once she's an adult, and she can't, and she isn't eligible for our insurance, then we need to figure out what kind of therapy she needs at that time, and we don't know what that will be. And I think that's part of what's challenging is we don't know what kind of needs she'll have, so we're trying to plan for whatever, and I think that's even more challenging.